Hey guys, my name is Becca and welcome back to another video. Today I have my week 1 update for N.E.W.T.S, for the N.E.W.T.S Magical Readathon. Technically, it's only been a few days since it started. It started Wednesday. I'm filming this on Sunday. I like to film like the end of the week updates on Sundays just because I feel like it's better for me. And I don't know, I really like doing it, and I did it for the Owl's Magical Readathon. I did it every Sunday as well, so yeah, I just like it. I feel like this is a really good time to film it, so that's why we're doing it. Even though it's only been a few days, and it's technically not like the end of the first week. Like, the week would technically be over technically on Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever. I mean, so yeah. It is what it is. I like to film these on Sundays, so I'm going to film them on Sundays. So, here we are. I did technically film an update Thursday for the second day. I only filmed it because I had an unhaul I wanted to do, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I did unhaul a few books, and the only reason I did that with the N.E.W.T.S update was because some of the books I was unhauling were technically on my TBR, and, well, I need to let you guys know that they were on my TBR, and I would be switching those out. So, that happened. Alright, so let's get on with the update. So, I did update you guys and let you know I did finish the Duchess Steele. The Duchess Steele by Tessa Dare, and I read that, and then I think I updated you to let you know I had finished All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover as well, or I was almost done with this. I freaking loved it. If I didn't tell you guys I finished it, well, I finished it and I freaking loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. I do believe that I did tell you guys about that, though. I know I was reading this that day, though. Yes. Yeah, I was reading this that day, and I also really love this. This is all about a girl named Sloane. She moves to she moves to Florida from New York, and she meets this group of friends. She's never really had friends from where she is, from, her childhood. She never really had that good of friends anyway, but she finds this friend group, and she clicks with them, and yeah. It's really just, like, about all these different relationships. It's not just about romance. There is some romance in this, but it's mostly just about this girl with her relationship with her family and her relationship with these friends, and it's just so good. I love Sloane as a character, the main character. I loved other characters as well. Frank, oh my god. Vera and Gabe, thank you. The dad, so good. I really loved all of the characters pretty much. Even when the characters could get annoying at times, I didn't care because I just loved them so much. And the dad, who is an author, he's a romance author, and they end up moving to here, to this place, wherever they moved to, because he's having trouble figuring out what to write next. He doesn't really know what he wants to write. So they end up moving for reasons, and while he's there, he ends up finding this show that he really likes, and he finds out about fandom and fan fiction, and he reads fan fiction, he writes fan fiction. Oh my god. If you didn't know, I read fan fiction. I used to read fan fiction a lot. Once you get into that fan fiction hole, you can't get out. Believe me, it's so hard to get out of it. Like, you need to find something else to obsess over other than fanfiction, or at least the fandom that you're, like, obsessing over, and that's the reason why you're reading this fanfiction. What's it called? I also used to write fanfiction. I stopped. There's a scene in here where the dad is talking about a WIP, which is a work in progress, if you didn't know. And fanfiction for a work in progress is chapter by chapter, so the author can take as long as they want to bring out another chapter. They can bring it out the next day, the next week, the next year. Believe me, there is still a fanfiction that I am still waiting chapters for, and it's been years since I've gotten a chapter. It's insane. but it's worth it if you like it. So he's talking about, like, nobody wants a work in progress, because you have to wait so long, like, depending on how long it takes for the author to bring out another chapter. Also, you don't know if they just decide to stop writing. They could just quit it altogether. And that was me. I quit a fanfic, like, I had started writing a fanfiction for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I literally got the very last chapter. I was writing it. And it took me a while because I didn't know what I wanted to write. Like, I didn't know how I wanted to end it. So it just took me so long. And then by the time, like, I was writing it, like, I was going to put it up. Like, I had every intention of doing it. But then my laptop broke, and the platform that I was writing on, I couldn't write it anymore. So, yeah, that was me, and I still feel guilty to this day, but I can't get back into it. So, yeah, that happened. But yeah, I really, really fell in love with this book. I fell in love with these characters, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I ended up picking up after I switched out. So I unhauled the Ruby Red trilogy, and I had one of the books on, I believe it was Emerald Green, I had on for, oh my god, what was it? I can't remember. I think it was Defense Against the Dark Arts. I think it was for that challenge, or for that subject. And the prompt was to read the last book in a series, and I had Emerald Green on there, and I unhauled the whole trilogy, which also Sapphire Blue was also on the TBR, so that was also switched out, but I don't believe that was the acceptable prompt, which, if you don't know, there's 3 prompts for each subject, and you have to read them in order of acceptable, exceeds expectations, and outstanding. So the first, the second, and third, you have to read those in order if you're going to achieve the completion of it. And so Sapphire Blue was, like, probably exceeds expectations or outstanding in one of the subjects. So I ended up having to, I unhauled both of them, so I ended up having to switch it out with another book, and I had actually ordered this one because I had read the first 2 and I loved it, and I needed to get this one, and it was on its way, so I was like, I could just switch that out and read it. It's actually better. And so I read Always and Forever Lara Jean. I actually had, where is it? I had this one on my TBR, technically, to be next. If you didn't know, I'm reading the 5 books, I was reading the 5 books for my N.E.W.T.S TBR for Booktubeathon, and this one was, like, the 5th book, but I just felt like I couldn't pick up this one right away. I didn't think I would finish it, by the time that, I needed to. So, yeah. I ended up just, again, like, switching out and doing Always and Forever Lara Jean, which is technically the 6th acceptable prompt for, this is for Defense Against the Dark Arts. I'm still going to read Truth Witch. It's still the acceptable prompt for Charms, I think. But I just wanted to read this one because it was quicker, and I did read this all yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. Wow, that's a lot of sirens. It's just on and on and on. Oh, and I gotta leave soon. So, yeah, I finished this in, like, one day. I started it yesterday morning and finished it last night right before I fell asleep. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as I love the other 2, though. The first 2 books were 5 out of 5 stars. This is a 4. There were moments that the characters annoyed me. Some of my favorite characters in this annoyed the hell out of me. Kitty, who I love the most out of everybody, was so annoying. Margot was so Lara Jean, like, there's so many characters that were super annoying. Wow, these dogs will not shut up. Sorry. If you can hear the dogs, I'm sorry. It happens every time I try to film. But I believe my most favorite character in this book was Peter. And in the first two books, he wasn't one of my favorite characters. I liked him, but I didn't love him. And in this, I loved him. So, yeah. I mean, I'm really, really happy that I read this and I finished off the trilogy. And I can't wait for the movie to come out on the 17th. I'm super excited for that. But yeah, this was a little disappointing just because I gave the other 2 5 stars. But this was still super enjoyable and I'm glad I finished it. And then the last book that I'm currently reading this one, and that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I was trying to finish this before going into this one, but that didn't happen. I need to finish this tonight before midnight. I literally have that much left. I only have like 150 pages left. Super unpopular opinion, I don't like this book. And I think that's the reason why it's taking me a little bit longer than it should to read this. I thought I would be able to finish this with like a day and a half, but I don't like it, and I keep putting it down because I don't like it. I'm not liking anything about this book. I'm just not. I can't connect with anything. I can't connect with the world, the characters, the story, anything. I'm just like bored out of my mind, not caring about a single thing, and I'm just like waiting for it to be over. And believe me, I thought about DNFing it and just like choosing a different book, because there's other books that I could choose for the prompt that I chose this one for, but I'm just like, I'm determined to finish it. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Spinning Silver. I think I want to try and get that one for the library whenever it's available, just because I don't know if I want to buy it now. I was like so excited for that, and I was going to order it, and I was going to buy it, and I was going to read it. But I'm kind of happy I haven't yet, because I don't know if I would like it. I know that's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. This one's not exactly a retelling, but I just don't like this much. So, yeah, it's a super unpopular opinion right there. Okay, so for like the next books I want to pick up, I can go one of two ways. I could, with all of the books that I've read, those are acceptable prompts. I could read the Exceeds Expectations prompts for those subjects. So I have Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan, My So-Called Bollywood Life by Nisha Sharma. I have The Son of Sobek by Rick Riordan. That's the first story in this bind-up. I technically have it on my Kindle app on my phone, so I could just, This, though, I have to finish Uprooted for this. So, crap. Yeah, I have to finish Uprooted just so I can go into the first story, The Son of Sobek. And then also Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman, which, yeah, I'm like, I really need to start reading this, like, today. Like, I need to start reading, like, at least 50 pages of this every day to see if I can finish it on time. And then the other one, because there were 5, was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, I think the name is. That's also one of the Exceeds Expectations. I only have that on audiobook. That's on my Scribd app, so, yeah. The other way I could go is to just finish up the rest of the acceptable prompts, and then I can just, then I'll be good. I could just read all the Exceeds Expectations as well. So I still have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, Dark in Death by J.D. Robb, Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I also have an audiobook, so super excited about that. I can reread that one. I'm really excited. Another reread is The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan, and then Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. I'm missing one. What am I missing? I know I'm missing one. I can't think of it. Because I should have 7. And I only have 6. What am I missing? I can't think of what I'm missing. I think it's one I don't own, but I can't think of what it is. So, I'm really sorry, but I can't think of what it is. I'll tell you guys in the next update, I think. But yeah, those are one of the 2 different routes I can go. I'm leaning more towards just finishing up the acceptable prompts, just because, like, I'm like really excited to read all of these, really, and I am excited to read these as well, and I'm still going to probably just pick up this one and just read like this one little by little like I did with Seraphina. So, and I do really want to read My So-Called Bollywood Life, so who knows, I might read like, I might do half and half and just read some Acceptables and then some Exceeds Expectations. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. Again, I have to finish this before I could even go into Son of Sobek. So, yeah. I think that's it for me today, guys. That's the update. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah. I read some pretty good books for N.E.W.T.S so far. I'm really excited to pick up a lot of the books I have on my TBR. Again, if you haven't seen my TBR for N.E.W.T.S, there are 36 prompts, and I only have 34 out of 36 so far, but I am really wanting to pick up and, you know, try and find books to fit those last 2 prompts so I can try and do 36. We'll see. We'll see if that ever happens, but I mean, I just really want to get to all of these books, really, and yeah, it's really what I want to do. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this update, and I will see you next week with another N.E.W.T.S Magical Readathon update. Bye, happy reading.